Good morning. Welcome to Tarot Time. Welcome to the Medium channel. And if you happen to be catching this not live, but as a video, we're going to talk about tarot. We'll do a 3-card spread for you that may be relevant for your personal life or for your community or what's going on globally. I've got a whole bunch of divination tools. So basically on Sunday mornings, we hang out, we talk about what's going on the week ahead, and I use divination tools to get messages from spirit to help us to best navigate. So are we ready to march into March, everybody? Well, before I get started, I always give the live people a minute or two to get their notifications and to get on. So let me put the old glasses on and say hi to everybody who's on so far. So we have Chris and Suzette, welcome, and hi Pug Life and Jody and Colleen and MDR, welcome, and hi Sue and hi Michelle and hi Carissa and Beth Foster, welcome, and Julie, welcome. So, and hi Pauline, and they're saying new comments, and Lisa. All right, and I'll turn the pings off, and we'll get started in just a moment or two. So, what's new in the world? It got cold. I need some water. All right, okay. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes. A lot of it's trickling into the news now. Many of you caught my 2023 psychic predictions, my February psychic predictions. We're going to do it for March, I think, on Wednesday. On March 1st, actually. I'll do a live stream for the March psychic predictions because the energy is really ramping up and it's going to be a very interesting month. So I'm going to prepare something special for you guys for that. So that's coming up. But before that happens, on Tuesday evening, right here, we're going to have Glenn Kidd on, who's a medium, a very talented medium, but also a rock star. And I'm saying this, semi literally because he's actually played with some very prominent names. So I'm really excited to have him on, and so there's a lot coming up. Then we've got another full moon coming up also. So it's going to be a busy week or two for live streams here on the Medium channel. So anyways, excuse me. Anyway, so who else is here? Yeah, if you guys are new and you want to say hi and where in the big wide world you're coming from, that would be Grace. Colleen saying Carissa's in the house. Yes, she most certainly is. And what is Carissa saying? The power of love, Salon. Yes, we like to talk about music around here also. Of course, we're mentioning we have a rock star coming on the Medium channel. Yay! So I like to start out with the meditation card and then dive into the readings and sometimes talking a little bit about current events. And and as I've saying before, a lot of you have seen my predictions or forecast might be a better word. And you'll notice that a lot of it's come true, right? For February, a lot of what I said already come to pass. I mean, not everything. My name isn't Nostradamus, but so not everything's going to be 100% on, but mostly the reason I do this, and yeah, it's fun to make predictions, especially when they come true. I can kind of have myself on the back, say good psychic, or whatever. But the main thing is we want you to understand the energy and the patterns of energy so that we can best prepare and best utilize the energies for our advantages personally, as well as for the betterment of our community and society. So that's really the reason that we do this. So I'm going to be adding something interesting on the Medium channel soon, which I'm going to do like daily YouTube shorts about, they're 60 seconds long YouTube shorts. And I'm going to be doing those dailies, except for Sundays. Sundays we do this to give you guys like a daily energy update. So we're going to do that as soon as I clear a little bit more work off my table. and I learned how to actually do YouTube shorts and how that works. So anyway, maybe 2 or 3 weeks we'll start that. Yeah, maybe the next new moon I'll launch that, and also probably in March, maybe in April, we're going to have a new website, and we're going to have courses, a free course, or I'll make up some other free courses as well as some paid content that'll be available through our website. So let's do a meditation card. And by the way, on Spirit Mind Family on Patreon, for our Patreon community, it's called Spirit Mind Family. We did a meditation this month to actually meditate with tarot cards. So there's a meditation available for you to work with your weekly tarot cards. And if you're not on Spirit Mind Family, well, of course, I will leave you guys information on the pinned comments and how you can get more information about that and join if you wish to do that. February's been, we have a monthly theme, and all the content there, it's all exclusive, by the way, but all the content there is you're geared towards a specific topic. So February was tarot and divination month. March is third eye month. So we've been going kind of up through the chakras. We started at root chakra, and every other month we've been focusing on a different major chakra, using the 7 chakra system. So that's what's happening on March. That's on Spirit Mind Family. So a lot of you are on there already. But if not, and that's interesting to you, we would, like I said, we'll post. Why am I looking for a card? No, let's pick a meditation card now. Let's dive into this. So, yeah, there's been things coming up in the news, and one of the reasons I wanted to mention, my predictions, and that I do this, is that just so much of the stuff that we've been talking about, like I did a 2021 forecast, 2022. And it really is coming to pass. A lot of this is really happening. A lot of the stuff going on in the world around us, the agendas, squashing of information, all that kind of stuff is really happening. And a lot of exposure and a lot of truths are starting to be discovered. It's starting to trickle, but that trickle may turn into a simmer come March, and then to a full boil as we go later on in the year. Other than March, when I was doing my February, March, April, but focusing on March being very, I don't want to say volatile, but changeable, very up and down, but a lot of energy was at the very end of the year, especially December. And I think just to give you, for those that may recall, or to give you a little bit of a sneak preview, I think by the end of the year there's going to be allegations, there's going to be arrests and stuff like that, and very high level officials that may include people that were once presidents. Even it's a possibility, or it could even be connected to current administrations. But there's a lot of corruption. I know everybody's aware of that, and more people are starting to become aware, and it is trickling on mainstream news. I always check the headlines. I don't really dive too deep into it because I just don't. I mean, honestly, I don't really have a lot of time. If in a perfect world, I would research and understand everything that the mainstream media is telling us, and then I can present better arguments as to why not to listen to the mainstream media. But I'm a busy man. So anyway, let's do a meditation card for the week. And for those of you that choose not to join Patreon and get that meditation, well, it's not that hard to meditation with tarot cards. And if you're new, what I recommend is, like in any other meditation, you want to get clear of mind, clear of heart. So you want to get present. You want to get very relaxed. And then this is called the Hanson Roberts deck that I use, but if you have your own deck, you can use the image of your own card. If not, you can use the image of my cards. But the idea is you want to visualize the card. Now, not everybody's visual, so if you're not, use your imagination. But whatever, like in other words, like if you're not visual, it's like if I was visual, this is what the card would look like. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you can hold that intention, it has the same powers if you're actually holding a mental image. And once you hold the mental image, you step into the card. First order of business is, in my mind, when I step into the card, I gauge my feelings. How does my emotions, my feelings, my energy shift as I go into the energy of the tarot card? And then I start to look around, because here, this is the Emperor card. You only see the Emperor. There's a whole 360-degree scene that you step into, a whole new world, a whole new reality. Look around. What does it smell like? What does it feel like? What does it taste like? And then you might meet spirit guides, or you may feel energy, or you may just get messages, or you may just have a good time traveling around your card. The thing is not to really have expectations, have intention, but the more you can leave your expectations at the door, the more likely you are to have a mystical experience. So what are you guys saying here? I'm missing the conversation. Oh my gosh, I'm missing a whole long. Okay, I can't even go there. I'm missing too much what you guys are saying. Carry on. You can carry on without me. That's okay. Let's pull a meditation card. One of the things, and I'm kind of giving you a little sneak preview of one of the things I'm going to talk about Wednesday for the February psychic fork on the March. I'm sorry, we're going to March. We're marching into March. We're marching out of February, coming in like a lion. Yes, yes, yes. We may get some snow, greeting the month of March here in the beautiful mountains of upstate New York. All right. I lost that train of thought right there. That dropped out of my brain very quick, which is not hard to do on a good day, but on a Sunday morning. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I guess I made sense. I don't know. All right. Here we go. It just popped out. I don't have to even pull it. And I like this card, Ace of Pentacles. Aces are new beginnings. Pentacles is the earth. So as you step into the card, maybe as part of your weekly meditation, because the Pentacles is earth. It can represent money, stuff like that. So I'll hold the card close. If you guys don't have your deck and you want to meditate with my card, well, you're allowed to. It's open to everybody. So again, you step into the card. What does it feel like? But you can maybe interact in a way where you're creating your reality also. So while you're in the card, because aces are the root powers of the suit. So all the energy of each suit is contained within the ace, which is the one, which is the new beginning. Again, Pentacles, earth. It's round, almost looks like an earth, and in a way. And when we do manifestation work, basically what we're doing is we're tuning into energy or frequency or vibration through our spiritual powers, and we're holding that energy in such a way that we start to manifest it or co-create it with spirit or God in our physical life. So that's really what it's about. We all have this power because we're doing it anyway. We're just 95 to 97% subconscious, and unless you've been doing a lot of meditation and spiritual work. And part of what happens when you do that work is aspects of the subconscious start to become conscious, and then it's good not to have subconscious things like I'd rather know what I'm putting out there into the world, rather than being oblivious to it and hiding intentions if they violate my moral code, or expressing fears based on unresolved programs or traumas from this and other lifetimes, and all that kind of good stuff. So anyways, I'm a little chatty as usual, but the idea is you step into the card and maybe work with the energies to create your ideal reality while you're doing that. That's just one suggestion, but the base way that I do this, that I teach every Sunday, this time, same bad channel. You get very clear, you step into the card, feel the energy, see who's there, what spirits are there, what animals, whatever, what nature's there, maybe, and journey with the card, with the energy of the card, see what messages you get or whatever, and what insights you get. So anyway, so that is that. So let's do a 3-card spread that may speak to you personally, or may speak to you more in your community, or may speak to you globally. Oh, now I know the thought that I dropped, about 5 minutes ago, is that the sneak preview into the psychic forecast. They were saying, just last night when I was meditating, how, and we kind of know this, but to be a little bit we'll say algorithmically friendly. We've had a planetary global issue since when roughly March 2020 that's happened, and they're saying that there's going to be some kind of a connecting of dots between, well, we'll just say bioengineering and what's been going on. And I think we're going to start to see this coming month a few more things starting to come up. We've already seen people stepping forward that were part of the testing process for some of the medications that became available, and revealing some of the faults in it that were covered up, basically. And so I think that's one of the big topics that's going to be swirling around March and April. So that's my sneak preview. All right, so what else you guys saying? For visions like a gateway. Yeah, I'm just, that's why I'm kind of peeing out, because I don't know if I'm better off with or without my glasses. I have my computer situated in a way where, my nearsightedness still kicks in, but it's far away enough that I should put the glasses on. It makes me like farsighted or nearsight. I don't know. It's Sunday morning. Guys, cut me some slack. Spirit, I need you to take over. My brain is muddled. So let me just tune in, because after all, what does Adam often say? When you're thinking, you're not connecting, and when you're connecting, you're not thinking. I'd rather connect than think right now, so I can give you guys a good 3-card reading. That's what we're gonna do. Okay. Let me just take another deep breath here. I'll tell you what they're showing me in my brain, and how that links in with the cards that I just pulled. And my old trusty clipboard. Well, the cards I saw didn't show up, but the energy, the theme of it did, and I swear my brain isn't really doing too good, because okay, I remember they showed me the 10 of Wands in my mind, or rods, which is the card where the figure sort of bent over and got like 10 things on his back that he's carrying, like these burdens, but it was reversed. So a lot of this was letting go of burdens, subconscious stuff, other people's energy, stuff like that. Then seeing the Ace of Cups, and I think that, and the Ace of Cups is a new beginning, like the Ace of Pentacles, but Cups is emotions and feelings, and often represents love and partnerships and relationships and stuff like that. But not limited to that, of course, but can represent that. And I think what they were saying is that a lot of us, and this may resonate with one or two people in particular, that you're really finding a methodology or a key of how to really let go of things. You can't just say, I'm going to let go of this, that, and the other thing and expect it to happen. There's too much subconscious programming behind it, and the programming hijacks the emotions. Some of those emotions are fear or anxiety, and in other words, very powerful emotions block those intentions real fast. So you really have to get into your heart. You have to get present. You have to get into your heart, and then you can reprogram from the inside out that way, from that place of love, compassion, and that seat of power. For the heart center, is the root of your higher self. It's the root of your spirit, basically, because the heart kind of blends the very spiritual with the physical. We are in a physical life and physical bodies in a 3D reality, but we're not of that reality. We're just in that reality right now. So it's through the heart center that we can assimilate the connection between the higher dimensions or higher forces with the earthly forces. Now, interestingly, the Knight of Cups is, knights are movement. Knights come and go, basically. The High Priestess is lunar energy. That's the moon energy. That's the mystery, the mystique, the psychic, the divine feminine, or one of three aspects of the divine feminine. Um, the um, the uh, the Empress is another aspect of the divine feminine, and then the Hermit is also another aspect in the major arcana. So this could be, for those that are Wicca or neo-pagans. You can also look at the High Priestess as the maiden, the Empress as the mother, and the Hermit as the crone. Unless you guys can think of a better card to represent the crone, but that's what they put in my mind, the Hermit. And the Hermit is like age and wisdom. So I get that reference. And then we have another knight, the Knight of Swords reversed. And I think somebody here is about to get very disillusioned based on somebody that they think would be like a great partner to them, maybe even a great friend. It's almost like truths are being revealed on a lot of different levels. And I feel like we're, us as a community, maybe you personally are going to be experiencing a lot of that. Now, the Knight of Cups, as one of the book meanings, could be the coming or going of matters of love or matters of emotional stuff. And I almost feel like basically, I feel like on more of a global level, I feel like they're saying not to mistake pleasantries for what's the right word? In the play Julius Caesar, there's a famous line: "Beware the Ides of March. We're coming into March," or "Beware of Greek bearing gifts." Yeah, that might be another expression. So, you know, be aware of hidden motivations, and it just feels like what's happening in the collective it's going to make it harder for people to hide their true intentions, but it's also going to make you more psychic. So this is helping to make you more intuitive. So it's going to be much harder to pull the wool over your eyes. But in order to see things clearly, it's necessary to be in the heart. It's necessary to clear the programs. And again, it's emotional, and that's how people manipulate us. They manipulate our emotions, and then whatever we feel, that's how we respond to other people in the environment, and how we respond to other people in the environment dictates basically everything that we create in our lives. And then the Knight of Swords reverse, that's some pretty intense energy. And I'm saying that I feel like somebody's going down, not you guys or your loved ones. I think more in the world, more in politics. I get a very kind of, it's fire, so there's a loose connection with Mars, but I get a very Mars feeling about that. So I think, especially towards middle months, this may not be this week, but in the next couple of weeks, I get a feeling that things are going to come out about the wars and conflicts and stuff like that. So I think also it's like sort of a week forecast. I feel like they're saying the week can start out kind of nice and benevolent, but I feel like they're saying just you be aware that people around you, I think towards around midweek even, are going to seem a lot more moody and a lot more confrontational. I think a lot of us are going to have to deal with that kind of energy and hold our ground in a nice way. I feel like they're saying as well. Feel like they're saying through here, to trust your intuition and trust your feelings, because spirit is really giving you messages and opening up to that divine feminine energy. Whether you're a man or woman, you have divine masculine and divine feminine within you. And the divine feminine is more connected to the intuition. It's more connected to that nurturing, healing, empathic qualities that we have, where the divine masculine is more like the outgoing, energy, and more the active principle. But so anyway, the high priestess kind of beckons us to go inward. And again, I'm feeling the heart, and that's where we dwell. That's where our spirit dwells. Look for the next 2 or 3-year-old or even 4-year-old child and ask them, where are you? And I think 9 out of 10 times they'll say, I'm here. They'll point right to their heart, because they haven't been programmed yet enough to separate themselves from who they are spirit, or to separate themselves from their heart. That's the problem. The solution is to reconnect with the heart. I was having a conversation with a brilliant spiritual teacher that lives in the Midwest about this, and just kind of saying, no, we really need the simplicity for all these spiritual tools to work. And the simplicity is to dwell in the heart, dwell in our power. That's how we tap into our guides, our angels, to our higher powers, and all the stuff that we need to navigate this. And remember, I'm repetitive for a reason, but remember, hearts cannot be programmed. It's not the nature of our heart center to be susceptible to negative programming. Only the mind, only the subconscious mind can. The heart is more powerful than that, because the heart, again, it's the anchor or the root of our spiritual selves. And hearts know love. They know compassion. They know joy. They know peace. They know gratitude. They only work in these frequencies. These are frequencies that are unprogrammable by negative outside forces. So, it really is that simple until you try to do it. Then it's hard, but something can be very simple but not be easy, basically. And my suggestion is, every every moment that you get, stop your thoughts, dwell in your heart, and just stay present there in your heart until something takes you out of that. And next time you think about it, do it again. I feel like this is our main message for the week. Do it again. And then over time, you start to reprogram your mind, because it's through the power of repetition. There's actually, there's many ways to get programmed, but 2 important ones that come to mind now. One, the power of repetition. We hear the same thing. We see our parents, when we're little children, reacting the same way to the same situations, and then we become programmed by that. And then also specific, intense, like an intense emotional, what's the right wording? Episode can also trigger a programming, like a trauma, for example. So if we had a really intense trauma, even though it's not through repetition, it's so intense that we carry that vibration and frequency, and then that becomes a program also. And then, you have to also understand there's collective programming, there's karmic programming, there's different dimensional frequencies that have different levels of programming. And every now and then, when I come back from deep sleep, I remember where I was, and it's a different parallel reality, and it's hard for me to remember or to bring it back, because everything is so different, that there's different physical laws. It's hard to explain that, but suffice it to say, it's just, intellectually, I just can't wrap my mind around what happens in these other dimensions, because it doesn't click with my physical knowledge of this physical universe that I live in. But if I don't think about it, then I maintain the experience. And I have to tell you that in these other parallel existences, there's also a lot of pushing through challenges. And in one of them, I've got a group that were actually in some kind of a war situation, and we're really kind of in an underground movement, and trying to basically help again, the side that we could, in this reality, call good versus evil, although it's different there. Anyways, I think you get the gist of that. So this is saying, this is really reactive energy, Yeah, and the high priestess can be to some degree also. Sometimes the high priestess is about illusion. Sometimes it's about deceptions also. Remember, it's lunar ruled. The moon reflects. The moon reflects the sunlight. Um, so it's very reflective energy, and it links into number two. This is key too. Two is about relationship. And if you understand that, if you take the sum of all the parts, in other words, if you take the sum of all your relationships, your romantic partner, if you have one, your family, your friends, your work, your job, your own thoughts. You have a relationship with your own thoughts, with animals, with the world around you. If you could take the sum of all of that, that's your reality. That's what the universe is reflecting back to you. We are in this place, whether you believe in um, the theory about that we're living in a computer simulation like the movie The Matrix, or if it's more like Maya or illusion, or basically a spiritual simulation. Whatever your school of thought about this is, there's a commonality in all these different schools of thought, that this is an illusion. There's a reality that's much greater and grander than this physical reality. And maybe not every single spiritual path under the sun, but the vast majority of them, tell us that we're here to learn. This illusion is our teacher. This is our classroom. So the universe is set up to be that perfect mirror. It's fractal in nature, which basically means that the universe will self-replicate and self-replicate into infinity until a new energy or new frequency changes that self-replicating patterns of the universe. So that's a little bit of science, semi-science. All my ears just buzz. So I think spirit is with me. That's a little bit of science there for you. So anyhow, so that I think that's really the message. I think in your own life you may uncover illusions. I think they're telling us not to project our desires too much. Like, in other words, not to project what we want the other person to be, or what we want the society to be based on our own values, but to learn just to be present and to take things as they are. That then, otherwise no change can happen. Because you're basically perpetuating an illusion, and your reality is reflecting that illusion, that it becomes so real that you won't know the difference. So again, once you learn to dwell in the heart, once you learn to be present, then all that starts to fall away, and you start to recognize who you are as spirit. So again, beware of the if people, watch your road rage. That's kind of what popped up in my mind. I remember one time, it was about 12 or 15 years ago, after coming from Lilydale, the big spiritualist community in Western New York. And then one of my guides was just, popped in, and at Lilydale we do a lot of mediumship and spiritual work. And I was just hearing, like in my mind, this guy was funny. He said, "Oh my God, did you see the shit that driver pulled? Oh my God, this and that." And he was just making fun of my own road rage, and I was getting it. He was cracking me up on that whole trip over. Long story short is that I do admit that I do have a little tinge of road rage in me. And when I see it activate, then I put my practice and my what's the expression? I practice what I preach. So I put what I preach into practice. I step back and observe myself having that road rage. And no, I don't get out of cars and threaten to beat people up or have guns or anything like that. It's more like, what goes on in our mind, because what goes in our mind affects our emotion. What goes in our emotions affects our mind. So it's kind of like I remember from the old sitcom Roseanne, and one of the characters was teaching one of the kids how to drive. I think it's John Goodman, the father, and he's saying, "Now you need to learn this. Anyone that drives slower than you is an idiot, and everyone that drives faster than you is a maniac," basically. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. So anyway, just have patience. Not just driving, but in general. I think that there's a lot of programming. It comes through Wi-Fi signals. That's why we really have to be in our heart. And It's good to have a little bit of your kind of energetic protection also. Anyhow, but this also shows some good news as well, and it also shows some very hopeful energy. And I have a feeling somebody's that's been waiting for somebody to come around, like somebody that you may feel that you're aligned to, but the other person's resistant to recognizing that. I mean, that could be romantic or a friendship or whatever. I think that you're going to get a nice message, or either that or somebody that just kind of been separate from you, that's been ghosting you lately. I think it's going to come back, even with an apology, I want to say, and stuff like that. So anyhow, what are you guys saying? All right, let's move on. I have other divination tools. I may flash back to that, but I just want to just get a feel. What do you think? Oh, a couple other houses. Chris Angeles, just like me. Very good. Yeah. Did I do that one already? All right. Anyway, I'm missing a lot of your comments, guys. I'm doing my thing here. Group hug. Oh, I like that group. We can flash that. Yes. So Len Kidd is on. He's the person that we spoke about before, who's going to be on Tuesday night. Yeah. This is a nice comment. Let me just flash this. Yeah, thanks, Colleen. I've seen many a dead show in my day, many a dead show. For those that don't know, Mickey Hart was one of the two drummers for the Grateful Dead. Don't ask me to recall anything that happened in those Grateful Dead shows, but I've been to a lot of them. Um, hi, Teresa C. Or Teresa C, if you pronounce it that way. Let me do a Native American card. Let's see, if that puts a little bit of a different spin or a stamp on the three Hanson Robert cards that I pulled. I'm going to use my floor. I was had to have been Japanese in another lifetime because I have low tables. I sit on floors and pillows. I mean, I do have a table in the other room for guests, but all right. Anyways, victory. Ooh, we like victory. Let me see what this 6 of Wands is, that, or 6 of Rods. But I feel like what they're saying, the victory, so to speak, is really the personal victory over the own lower natures, the own, our own what are our own blocks or our own obstacles, and the six of was that the 6 of Swords? No, it's pipes. I think that's wands or rods. Anyway, I'm just looking at the image. Yeah, so I think it's just saying literally, that there is room for us to have personal victories this month. I feel like with that high priestess. So I'll bring these up again also with that central card. I think it's just saying with this new moon, which shouldn't be a big surprise. The new moon is in Pisces, and no, say, wait, it's a high priestess rule Pisces. No, the moon. That's what's a little confusing with the major arcana with tarot. The moon card, which you think would be ruled by the moon, is ruled by the sign Pisces. But it's all interchangeable, and it's all energy. It's all interpretation of energy anyway. So not to get too caught up on these definitions, but um, this seems to sink in very well with this high priestess energy. Also, it's kind of victory over our own issues, basically, as well as overcoming challenges. So I think again, not surprised that intuition is going to play a major role, because the Pisces new moon, and it's actually at 0 degrees Pisces. So 0 is a very special quality in numerology, because it's the energy of spirit before manifestation. And I'll talk more about that on when I do the full moon psychic, not forecast, The other thing that you need to know for the full moon, that is on, what date is that? I didn't, is it the 7th, the full moon? And anyways, it's coming up, not this week, but the following week. I think it's the 7th, it might be the 8th. But but 0 degrees Pisces. Pisces is a very psychic sign also. So this is a good work to really work on intuition and meditation and stuff like that, I want to say. And I feel like it's saying with this night, this fire energy all around us, I feel like it's also saying we just have to be in our heart. We have to be in that safe place. Be in the eye of the storm. From the eye of the storm, we can direct the winds, because that's, in a physical storm, that's where the lowest pressure is, but it's calm right in the eye of the storm. So we can start to navigate and start to change the wind, so to speak. So be in the heart, be in the eye of the storm, and that way, people, especially what's showing later, where you may find a lot of people being challenging or whatever, and then you may find before that people being deceptive. But I think, although there's a lot of scary news or whatever, but don't go into fear. I think there's a lot of hopeful things if you read between the lines with that also. So this victory just feels like it's overcoming. Now they're not killing the enemy; they're just capturing. It's a victory, and sometimes it's a victory over our own ego. That we basically the ego is an important function. Without an ego, I don't know how we'd function in the physical world. Until we reach sadhana or enlightenment, anyways. But the ego is supposed to serve us in this world. But the servant sometimes thinks it's the master. So, anyways. Can direct the winds. Yeah, that's a quote I just made up. All right. What do I want to do now? 11:45. It's already running late. Let's do our sacred geometry, our cards. I love these. I have about 7 or 8 decks here. I'm not going to use them all. So this would be the frequency they want us to work with this week also. And this frequency is synergy. So the two of, again, that number 2, that high priestess card, very much, 2 is very much about relationship, about synergy. It can be synergy between the male and female principles from within, synergy, whatever. Oh, hold on. Autofocus is working today. Let's take advantage of that. Technology to me is an adventure waiting to happen. So that's kind of what it looks like. So again, you can meditate with it and just kind of basically just feel like you're in your heart and in your center, and just connect with the energy. And what it says here is the frequency of synergy supports our allowance and acceptance of not so obvious, never seen before combinations and unions that result in new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar so that new yet exciting co-creations can give birth to a new reality. So again, this is the energy, this is the sacred geometry. If you connect and create a oneness with this, you start to absorb and connect with the energy and start to embody the energy of it also. I love these cards too. Thank you. And the question is that it can be certainly a part. I think part of synergy is being part of the flow. Absolutely. Good point. Good point. Thank you also, Pauline, for sharing. Let's do our animals. I have the messages from your animal spirit guide cards today rather than the medicine cards. So I kind of bounce back between those 2 decks for our messages from our animal spirits, our friends. Many of the indigenous cultures around the world, including the Native Americans, felt that the animals were teachers. They're not just animals roaming around, that they're here to teach us and to help us to grow. For within us, we contain the energy and vibration of all these other animal beings. So they're really part of us also, and embody different forms than us. We can learn a lot from them. And excuse me, sorry if you caught me licking my fingers there. Thinking of this Jethro Tull song called Two Fingers now. Probably my least favorite album of theirs, but they're one of my favorite bands, so it's still brilliant. Cold War Child. But line it here, you better lick two fingers clean before you shake his hand. It's Jethro Tull. What can I say? Ian Anderson. So it's the zebra. We won't talk about subversive sexual humor around zebras today. We did that the last time we pulled zebra about a year ago. But let go of your fear and know that you are safe and protected at all times. And the zebras, it's interesting because I always get a little bit of a reference to yin and yang because of the black and the white and the stripes and everything. So that's the message. Zebra, wow, so cool. Pulling saying, try the Mega Millions. Let go of your fear and know that you are safe and protected at all times. How do we let go of our fear and know that we're safe and protected at all times? And this isn't multiple choice because you all know the answer already. You go into the heart center where you feel one with spirit, where you feel the nurturing of your divine mother in the heart center. When we feel separated from that, that's when the fears come up, and that's when all the problems begin, all the illness and all that, and all the fear comes up. In a perfect world, we only feel fear when there's an actual threat on our lives. But in our complex modern society, your fear comes up all the time in social non-survival situations. So again, that's programming. Our survival instinct basically gets programmed to activate in situations that it's not naturally supposed to activate in. That's how powerful the subconscious programming is. If you fear like a job interview, it's not like your interviewer's got a gun that's going to shoot you, right? That's programming, and it hijacks the emotion, as I always say. So that's a beautiful example of that. Let's finish up with the angel message, with the Doreen Virtue's version of angel messages, anyways. I can make a little fun humor on that. Doreen Virtue, BC, or before Christ. Some of you appreciate that, to know of her personal spiritual journey. But whatever she's doing now, what she gave us to me is a gift, and myself and a lot of other people still use her references, obviously, because I'm doing it now. All right. Rosetta, is that about children? Yes, it is. You have a gift for working with young people, and your divine purpose involves helping, teaching, or parenting children. So who here feels that they may have that quality, but are doubting themselves? Well, the angels are saying don't. You actually do have a gift with children. You do have an understanding of their nature. You're a child also. We have to find our inner child again. Find that in the heart center as well, and that's good. I think for a lot of us, we're just gonna learn from the children. I mean, there's always disparity of levels of consciousness and spirituality with any generation. But that said, this generation of children now are extremely advanced. The ones before were very advanced. I've been having a wave of teachers come on the Medium channel who are in their 30s, maybe even their later 20s. Brilliant people. Back in the day, we called them the crystal and the rainbow children. Now they're grown-ups, and they're and some of them have accessed their power. They know who they are, and they're out there teaching and out there helping people to find their power. And making, I'm a big kid. I'm 64 basically, and a lot of people, saw me as an indigo child when the indigo children were a thing. So, and not to make that as a, what's it, an egotistical, like, oh, look at me, I'm an indigo child, I'm better than you, or any of that kind of stuff. But and these are just labels anyway. My guide are saying, just tell them these are just labels anyway. But the important message here is that our children, each generation is wiser than the last. And these are very advanced souls that are coming in children, because this is the awakening. All these unsustainable systems in society are falling. They're crumbling as we speak. And that's why this is such an intense time, because there's an awakening happening, and people aren't going to be so easily programmed once they start to awaken and tap into their own power. So that's why there's so much pressure to keep people as dumbed down as possible. And it's gone even more so. And they have technology to really aid and abet their efforts to program the masses, as well as the techniques they've been using all along. So, so these young people have the gifts to share and to help to foster a new age in human evolution that's going to be happening over the next roughly 50 years or so. So, anyhow. Oh, I like this. Yeah. This some of the trees by me are budding. Although it got down to 10 degrees 2 nights in a row, so those buds are having a little shock right now. For saying, flower bloom before my eye. Yeah, the croci or crocuses. I don't know which is the correct way of saying that. Yes, depend. Well, you're south of us, right? So they're totally blooming where you are, Carissa. Yeah, they would totally be blooming. Uh, Even in New York City, sometimes you see your first crocus at the end of February. Uh, Very good. Yeah, I'm missing so many of your comments here. But I like this. And my was born with his own North Star. You guys been getting out and seeing Sirius lately? We're getting to that time of year where it's starting to set a little bit earlier now. So this is the time, in the evening when it's dark out and there's no moon. Look to the south, about, I don't know, 30 degrees over the horizon, or 35 or 40. I mean, for me, it hangs right over the mountains, and it looks like Jupiter. If I didn't know for a fact, because Sirius is a fixed, I think it's in the sign Cancer. So if I didn't know for a fact that if it was Jupiter in the sign Cancer, it'd be much higher in the sky, because it would be close to the elliptical, or the range of motion that the sun travels. Anyway, long story short, um, it can't be, because it's too low in the sky. So I know that's serious. Then you can also follow Orion's belt to find it. But you look to the south; it's the brightest thing. It looks like a planet, but it twinkles a little bit. That's how you find Sirius. You gaze at that also, and you guys saying, I think this was it's two-sided being an indigo. We know and see things way before the world. Yeah, that's true. I can totally relate to that. Uh, oh, beautiful, Jody. Yes. So has been amazing. Yeah, I'm in a good spot. Not the Adirondacks. That was the most amazing place, probably in the entire East Coast, to see the stars, because there's virtually like there's just tiny little villages scattered here and there. There's just no, the light pollution is very, very low there. I mean, you'd have to go out to sea to have a better view of the stars. So anyways, yeah, it's almost noon. I think it's our time to say goodbye. I'll miss you, but catch us Tuesday with Glenn Kidd. we're going to have a really, really amazing time. And you guys that have really, cool awakening stories, and you've assimilated that into your life, and it's changed your life, and you're doing the work. We want to know about it here on the Medium channel. So I'm going to be interviewing a bunch of people talking about their awakening story. And if you want to hear my awakening story, well, that's up on the Medium channel. I did that as a live stream last Thursday. So I'll pin that one to the comments also when this becomes a video. Thank you, Lakeside Laura. I didn't see you sneak in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Always my pleasure, always. Love you all. See you next time. Ciao. Aloha.